Now some of y'all rolling your eyes already. I get it. You busy. You tired. You got bills, problems, kids, dreams that seem too far gone. But let me break this down for you. You don't need to change your whole life in a day. You just need 60 minutes a day to change the direction of your life. Discipline creates destiny. One focused hour a day can redirect your whole future. Small, consistent actions beat big plans with no execution. Let me break something down for you that most folks overlook. Discipline is not punishment, it's permission. It's the permission you give yourself to become who you really are, not who life has shaped you to settle for. When I say 1 hour a day can transform your life, I'm not just tossing around motivational hype. I'm talking about the psychology of change. The human brain is wired for habits. Your life right now is just a reflection of what you do consistently. So if you can carve out 60 minutes, not for the world, not for the bills, not for the noise, but for you, you start rewiring your own destiny. Now, here's where people trip up. They think change has to be dramatic, a complete overhaul, like moving to Bali or quitting your job overnight. Nah, transformation happens in the small, intentional reps. You want to write a book. Write 500 words a day. That's 180,000 words a year. That's 2 books. You want to change your body. 1 hour a day at the gym or in your kitchen can reshape it. Want to break generational patterns? Spend that hour learning, unlearning, healing. One focused hour, not multitasking, not sort to trying. I'm talking deep, sacred focus. That's how the old you starts fading and the new you steps forward. Discipline ain't sexy. It's not Instagram Mabel. But it is the root of every success story you admire. People say they want freedom, financial freedom, emotional freedom, creative freedom. But freedom is on the other side of structure. And structure starts with how you use 1 hour. So let me ask you, are you busy being who life made you, or are you building who you were meant to be? Because 1 hour a day is all it takes to answer that question. Mindset is the real currency. What you think about is what you bring about. Transform your thoughts, and you transform your reality. Now let's talk about something deeper than hustle mindset. Because here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your mind is the gatekeeper to your reality. What you think about all day long, that becomes your life, period. You can't live a positive life with a negative mindset. You can't expect abundance while planting seeds of doubt. That ain't how this thing works. See, I used to think success was about working harder. And yes, effort matters. But what I learned over time is your outer world is just a mirror of your inner world. You can't outperform what you believe about yourself. You can grind all day, but if you believe deep down you're not worthy of love, success, peace, or purpose, you're gonna sabotage it every time it gets close. That's psychology. That's human wiring. But here's the good news. Just like a muscle, your mindset can be trained. In that 60-minute window, you've got the chance to reprogram how you see the world. You can read something empowering, listen to wisdom, speak affirmations, journal through your fears, visualize your goals. And over time, those thoughts, they become new beliefs. And those beliefs, they shape new behaviors. And that's how your life starts shifting, not by force, but by perspective. Now I know some of y'all are in dark places. I've been there. But I promise you, if you change your thinking, your circumstances will start bending to meet you. Because the world don't move until you do. So I'll leave you with this. The most valuable real estate you'll ever own is the 6 inches between your ears. What are you building on it? A prison or a palace? Faith plus hustle equals unstoppable. It ain't just about hard work or just about praying. It's about both. Faith moves the spirit. Hustle moves the feet. Let me tell you something that's gonna sound simple, but it's heavy. Faith without action is just a wish. See, too many people out here praying for a breakthrough while sitting still. You want God to bless you with something big, but you're not giving him anything to bless. You're asking for harvest, but never planting seeds. That's not faith, that's fantasy. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a man of faith. I believe in prayer, in divine timing, in grace. But I also believe God gave you asterisk 2 hands for a reason. You pray with one, you work with the other, you believe and you build. That's the combo. Faith is your anchor, but hustle is your sail. Without both, you're just floating. Here's the psychology behind it. Faith activates your vision. It gives you the ability to see something before it exists. But hustle, that's what brings it into reality. That's when neurons start firing different. That's when you stop waiting and start becoming. You feel me? You can't just believe for the dream. You've got to become the kind of person who can carry it. So in that 60 minutes you give yourself, don't just meditate, execute. Don't just visualize, strategize. Don't just speak it, build it. That's when things start to shift. That's when doors open because you showed up to knock. Let me leave you with this. Faith sets the vision, but hustle makes the vision visible. You can have all the belief in the world, but if you don't move your feet, you'll never move your life. Cut the noise, feed the soul, replace 60 minutes of scrolling, gossiping, or complaining with something that feeds your future. Now let's be real for a second. Most people aren't out of time. They're just drowning in noise. And I'm not judging, I've been there. Wake up, grab your phone, scroll through highlights of other people's lives, check emails you ain't even ready to respond to, and before you know it, 2 hours gone, and you ain't fed your spirit at all. See, the mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it, it's gonna grow. You keep feeding it gossip, drama, fear, distraction. Don't be surprised when confusion shows up in your life. But you give it clarity, wisdom, truth, stillness. Now you're building something deeper. That's not just philosophy, that's neuroscience. Your brain literally rewires itself based on what you give attention to. Focus builds pathways, distraction destroys them. That's why that 60 minutes you carve out, it has to be protected, sacred. It ain't just about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Maybe that means turning off the TV, putting your phone in the other room, and sitting with your thoughts. Maybe it's journaling, praying, reading, or just being silent long enough to hear yourself again. You'd be surprised how many people never hear their own voice because they've got the volume turned up on everything but their own soul. The truth is, peace isn't found in more noise, it's found in the pause. And in that pause, that quiet 60 minutes, is where your direction gets clear. So ask yourself this: are you feeding your future or just filling your time? Because one will transform your life, the other will just keep you busy while nothing changes. God gave you a gift. Use it. Every person has something special. Spend 1 hour discovering and sharpening it, and the world will make room for your gift. Let me tell you something that changed my whole life. You were born with a gift. Not maybe, not if you went to the right school or grew up in the right zip code. No, you already have it. God didn't put you on this earth empty-handed. He gave you something unique, something valuable, something that nobody else can do quite like you. The problem is, Most folks spend their whole life either ignoring it or trying to copy someone else's. See, your gift isn't always loud. It might not look like talent at first. It could be your way with people, your ability to solve problems, the way you see beauty in things others miss. But just like anything valuable, it needs to be discovered and developed. And that takes time. That's what the 60 minutes is for. Not just working harder, but working smarter on you. Psychologists call this flow state. That zone where your gift and your purpose line up and time disappears. But you can't reach flow if you never focus. You can't refine your gift if you never give it space to grow. That 1 hour a day, away from distractions, away from comparison, that's where your gift gets sharpened. That's where you stop being a copy and start becoming original. And here's the deeper truth. The world is not waiting on another trend. It's waiting on you, your voice, your solution, your perspective, but it can't show up until you do. So I'll leave you with this. You don't need permission to be great. You just need to practice your greatness. And 1 hour a day is enough to bring your gift to life. You don't need a degree. You need a decision, the decision to commit 60 minutes daily to growth, to purpose, to peace. That's how transformation starts. Let me break something down for you real clear. You don't need a degree to transform your life. You need a decision. Now, don't get me wrong. Education is powerful. I'm not knocking it. But some of the smartest, most successful people I know didn't get there because of a diploma. They got there because they made a decision to bet on themselves when nobody else would. See, the difference between people who move forward and people who stay stuck isn't intelligence. It's not talent. It's not connections. It's commitment. They made up their mind that their situation wasn't going to define their story. That's the moment everything changes, not when the job calls, not when the loan comes through, not when everything's perfect, but when you decide to show up different. You don't need perfect conditions to grow. You need consistent intention. You don't need all the answers. You just need to start asking better questions. Who do I want to become? What do I need to do daily to become that person? What can I give 1 hour of focused energy to starting today? And once you've made that decision, you defend it. Because life will test you. Distractions will show up dressed as opportunities. People will doubt you, delay you, and sometimes even desert you. But if the decision is real, if it came from deep within, not from pressure but from purpose, then you stay the course. You use that 60 minutes a day like your future depends on it. Because it does. So let me leave you with this. Degrees open doors, but decisions build the house. What are you building with your time?